Hey GU players, have you ever played a game here where the opponent doesn't know when to lose and just keeps on coming back into the fight? Don't worry, I feel the same and I've got a game to show you that displays this so perfectly. Death is such a strong deck here to play against considering all the combat plays they have, especially with all the healing, and especially they don't know when to lay the hell down, but I still came out in a victory in the end. Comment below which deck you think had the best combat play, and like the video if you hate Omni, and subscribe for more playtime content, and let's get to this game. So we're going to start the game like every war player does, and we're going to play Slayer straight away, because it's the best ability for war if we're going to be honest. And if you don't know my playing style, I like to get Vendor in my hand as soon as possible, because Vendor allows us to get so many possibilities out in our team, especially when it comes to powering up our cards. And we got super lucky by having 2 1-mana cards as well, so we're set up perfectly well. And mainly one of them, we need a monster on the board to get the full power of it, well, monster on your opponent's board. But I like to play risky. I like to play Vendor as soon as possible, because if they have no answer for it, all your monsters in your hand get powered up straight away. And at the beginning of the game, you have all the cards that you have, well obviously, so you have more monsters you can power up. But they had the answer for it, unfortunately, and that's the risk that we play. But I did get myself a Rios, which is really great for later plays, but now I'm in a weird situation, because I can play my frontline card, which is great, but I also have Archer, and Archer is that ability only works if they have a monster on the board, so if I play it, it's kind of like a wasted card to an extent, but I do like to flood the board a lot. So realistically, we have no choice, because I want to flood the board. We're going to have to play both of them anyway. So, and I was multitasking while I was playing the game, hence why I haven't made a move right now. But now I'm going to actually do my move, which is play the frontline card and play the Archer, even though I don't use its ability. But I want to have as much monsters on the board as I can, because soon I'll be able to use my Minotaur, and it'll be a great card. But I drew a Savage Strike, which allows us to be like versatile, because with Death, they like to play zombie spam or Anubis spam, and Savage Strike is great for that because they're doing most of the zombies that they play have 1 health, and it allows us to like get around it really. And to be honest, War don't have a lot of answers when someone floods the board, so you want to save it for that instance. But in reality, I didn't know that they were going to play a relic, so now I'm like, okay, I'm in a weird position, because I didn't really read the relic card, and all I can do is just attack, play my Minotaur, and get his Frenzy out, which is great, because we have Overkill now, and we get +2 damage. And Overkill is such a great ability, especially against Death, because considering they have played loads of little monsters with like 1 life, you can kind of like board wipe with Overkill. And I'm not sure a lot of people like realise that Minotaur has Overkill, and they just focus on the 2 damage it gives. But I didn't realise that Zombie has multiple ways of playing, and they start playing all these backline cards, and I hate backline cards because you can't really get rid of them. So, and in my mind, I read the relic instead of reading the backline card, and its ally ability is so overpowered. But I'm in a comfortable position, so I play Recruit because I want to keep powering up my monsters for later game, and I keep attacking their god, just taking them down. And now they're under half their health, and I've not even lost anything yet. But this is when their play starts coming into action, because if you don't see them big little hands that they have, that's an ally ability, and that means the minute they play a monster, their abilities start flying out. And here it is. They play the monster, nothing much really happens, they get the award, and now their ally ability pops out, and they get rid of one of my monsters. Kind of annoying, but I accept it. But in reality, I have the Savage Strike. And Savage Strike is great for Olympian War because it allows you to actually get rid of some backline cards. And I was lucky enough to draw another one. So I had one later down the line just in case they do decide to play some zombie spam. But in my mind, I was like, I forgot about the backline. And I thought, oh, let me play Rios. But that wasn't going to work. So now we play the Savage Strike to actually like try and do some board wipe. And obviously it hurts my own monsters. But I was lucky enough to also get rid of that ward, so then I can actually use my Savage Strike later down the line to get rid of it. And I was able to get obviously the heal from the Sanctum, because Minotaur is such a key card for me right now because it's got like loads of damage and I can get his health back up. So now I'm in a bit of a comfortable position. I'm thinking, okay, let me just attack them. But like I said, I was multitasking, so things were going a bit slow in this game. I do apologise. But now, at 5 mana, they're under 10 health. So I'm in a really comfortable position, even though I've only got 1 monster on the board. But then this is where it starts to domino a little bit. Because it's cool having Minotaur on the board, it's cool that he has 4 health. But in reality, in Gods Unchained, we have abilities that just get rid of monsters. He just clear the monster off the board, and he doesn't care about his health. And like you can see, he's just attacking me, first bit of damage onto me. But now I'm like, okay, they have 5 mana, what are they going to play? And because they got that ally ability, you know they're just going to get rid of my Minotaur in the end. But I'm in a good position because the cards I have in my hand. But they decided to go and get the frontline card at the Sanctum, which adds another layer of complexity for me because I want to win the game ASAP. I want to try and win as soon as possible. But it wasn't going to be the answer. And when they destroyed their own monster, I was a bit confused. I was like, okay. But they did board wipe me in the end. And now I'm like, okay, what should I do? And it's like, okay, let me Savage Strike and get rid of the final backline card, because if I can attack the monsters, we're fine, we're Gucci. But if I can't attack the monsters, I'm screwed. Because in reality, War doesn't have a lot of answers for backline cards. And then that card comes back, and I'm just like, at this point I'm like, God, just help me. So I'm already playing Recruit, and I was lucky enough to draw Vendor. And like I said, I like my Vendor because it allows us to power up our monsters to actually have some menacing monsters on the board. But they're on 3 health, so in my mind, after my God ability, I'll be good. They'll be on 1, and I'll be near enough to the win. But now it's time for them to answer, and that's attacking me a little bit. And I'm just twiddling my thumbs, just like my thumbs, my fingers, just waiting. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play Vendor. I'm gonna use Vendor to power up my monsters. But now they got this backline card again with the ally ability, and the ally ability just destroys my monsters without caring about anything. And they're starting to flood the board a little bit, and I've already played both my Savage Strikes, and that's why they're starting to flood the board, because they're like, okay, you can't do that again. But I'm in an alright position because I do have Vendor, so I can definitely set up my hand to be good that later in the game. And I was like, okay, let me take them down to 1, and this is where the first chance we were close to the win. And this is why your deck needs a lot of answers to like just get 1 damage onto them, onto the God, so you can actually get the W. And we were lucky enough the Sanctum had an Olympian card, so, and also it was low mana, so we were able to just play it straight away, get a double buff onto our hand, because Vendor is so overpowered once you let it go. And now look at my monsters, they're so powerful. I'm like, okay, what are you gonna do here? What's your big answer for what I just done? And guys, we're at the 7 mana stage, and we all know what could be coming at 7 mana. And it did come. It came like Godzilla. But at first, they were attacking me. They're like, okay, we're gonna take you down a bit, and guess what we're gonna do? Omni on you! We're gonna put Omni power onto you. And look at the hill. Remember they were on 1. Remember we were close to the victory. But no, not this time. Now we're tying. And they have Omni on the board. And they board wiped me. I was like, what do I do? I don't know how you don't feel about Omni, yeah, but when it happens to you, you just cry. You just don't know what to do. But my monsters are powerful, especially my Might Fur. And it took the relic removal card just in case I wanted to get rid of theirs. But I really didn't care about the relic the whole game. But that Omni really did upset me. But I got some retribution, especially in the card. And because I took it personal, I was going to throw that out there and get rid of that Omni. Like this. I took it personal, and in my mind, I've been getting rid of these backline cards fine so far. But now I'm like, okay, White Fur, we'll play you. You're big 10 damage. We got rid of both of the annoying ally card that destroys monsters without caring about anything. So I'm in a good position. I'm like, okay, we got White Fur, and we got my God ability. So unless you get rid of my White Fur out of nowhere, we're winning this game. I was a bit confident about that. But at the same time, we never know what this deck's going to do, because I thought I was going to win the first time, but I didn't. So here's the second time that I could have won the game, and now we're just waiting for their response. At the end of the day, they have 7 mana, and as the game keeps going on, War's just going to get weaker. And then I played a frontline card, and I'm like, okay, cool. Frontline's annoying. It means I got to do something to stop it before I can go for the kill. But I got confident hit the GG. And Rios has Blitz. So I'm like, okay, we can win the game here. We can win the game. So I play Rios, and I go attack their frontline card, and I'm like, yes, we're gonna win. But I don't read cards, if you haven't realized yet. And I'm like, oh, let me go attack. No, we got frontline for you to get around. And I was like, oh my god. Like, so now we're just gonna slowly try and whittle them down a bit more. And hopefully the next turn we can win. But if you don't see, in the Sanctum, I hope I pointed the right side. But in the Sanctum, they have a frontline card they could pull out. And that just makes it harder for me to go for the final kill. Frontline is so annoying to get around, even though I've got a frontline card for that exact reason. But now they play this, now we're seeing some zombies. And it gets rid of my Rios, which is a shame. And they healed as well. So now we're back at tie-in. And I'm not in such a comfortable position as I was before. But we now have the great blue card that does 3 damage to them in the Sanctum. So I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable. As long as you don't get rid of my white fur, I'm good. And look, instead of going for the blue card, they went for frontline to protect themselves. But at the same time, I do have the Camaro that has Blitz. So I'm still confident I can go for the win this time. Otherwise, this would be the 3rd time that I could have won and I didn't. So I'm just hoping that they're not going to play anything more. Because right now, I already know my route. I'm going to play their Camaro to attack them. Use white fur to attack them with God. And then I'll also use the blue card from the Sanctum. But they can heal a little bit more. But luckily enough, it was only 1 more heal. So right now, we're good. I'm quite happy with my setup. There's nothing much they can really do to stop this. I was going to play the weaker one, but you know what? I thought, let me flex the damage that I've been able to make. And then it's like, I kind of do hate this part of Chimera. I never know what to pick sometimes. And sometimes it's just a lose-lose situation. But as I knew I was going to win the game, I was like, okay, let's go. So now I hit him with the Chimera with the front line. White fur is just going to attack him. And now I'm just like, yes! I'm actually going to win. Hit him with the GG properly. And now use the Rune of Fire to finally win the game. That Omni really annoyed me. So I'm quite happy I got the victory. And this is why, guys, you should always try go for the win when you can. As you can see, Death is an annoying deck to get around, yeah. But every deck has a weakness. And for this one, it was me. Sorry to quote Itachi from the Naruto there. But if you haven't already, comment below which deck you think had the best comeback plays, because as you can see, Death was very strong in this instance. And like the video if you don't like Omni, because as you can tell, I could not stand that card the way how it was used, just to bring them back to a level pegging with me with life. And subscribe for more play to earn content, and remember, be a shark in this space, not a whale. And I'm going to see you guys next time.